Hello, and we are back again with another Matic Mondays. What's going on? And if this is your first time joining Matic Mondays, we appreciate you joining us on this 1 hour live stream where we talk about all things remote work, digital nomad, taking your skills and transferring them to an IT role. All things travel under the sun, and we do a little bit more with visas, and this is what we're coming to today to talk about visas, remote digital nomad visas actually too. So I have to always introduce my co-host, the beautiful Tiffany Sports and Heels. What's going on?
What up, y'all? How y'all doing? I'm fresh off. Indoor season has finally ended for me. I'm exhausted. I ended it with 2 USA track and field meets that I was really happy to volunteer for. So had a good time, but I'm eager to start outdoor, but I won't be starting until it gets warm because it's cold here in Cincinnati. So good to be back. And good to have our guest back, man. I'm just so happy to see this young lady because she's been doing her thing like big time.
Yes. And without further introduction, reginebridgesthegap. Let's give it up for Regine.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much again for having me on tonight.
Yes.
Thank you so much to both of you. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Yes. We got the applause here too.
I know, right?
It's been a whole year.
All right. Yeah. All righty. Well, we appreciate you coming back to talk with us. And, this show, I wanted to kind of dig into the recent news of I had a little feedback there. With the recent news of Brazil reinstating their tourist visa. If people are not aware, most countries that accept U.S. Tourists, you get a visa on arrival usually 60% of the time. Mm-hmm. That's like when you go to the customs and they ask for your passport when you enter that country. Once you get out the plane, that little stamp, that's your visa on arrival. But sometimes you have to do an e-visa, and then sometimes you have to do one where you have to kind of go down to your consulate. It all depends on the country. But the U.S. has a very powerful visa where we get the privileges that most countries don't get. So, but not in this case. One country named Brazil is actually reinstating their policy that was up till 2019. They reversed it, and it was visa on arrival, as I just spoke of. So there's a lot of things behind why and how it came to be back that way again with the new president. They're saying that was the main reason, but I think there's other reasons too. But economic reasons, and I think I read something about they were not seeing a lot of tourist dollars from or tourist entries into Brazil. I've read that in the main article, but there's so many other reasons and campaign promises and stuff like that. So better to even speculate. Why not bring somebody who's boots on ground? Where Regine, tell the people where are you at currently?
Well, currently I'm in Salvador Bahia. That is a state in the northeastern part of Brazil, because Brazil does have states. I did just come from Rio de Janeiro, which is in the southern region of Brazil. But I'm here now in Bahia, city of Salvador. So that's where I'm at right now.
Cool. Yes, and Regina has definitely been busy.
Yes.
As Tiffany mentioned, she was actually a participant in the most recent carnival this past February. We'll get into that.
Yeah, Adrian, you saying that kind of nonchalantly. When she was here a year ago, she talked about very extensively about this being the dream. When we asked her, why did you move to Brazil? Why did you attend, these instructions? And you just metamorphosed into living your actual dream. And it's so cool to see you play that out on social media.
Yes. I've been a
talk more about it,
pasista.
Reggie.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I said go talk more about your pasista.
I've been a pasista for the past 4 to 5 years now. I did not parade last year, as we mentioned. I didn't parade the year before that as well, due to the pandemic. So it was 2 years that I haven't paraded. But this year was the first year back after 2 years. So it felt good to be back. And next year is going to be even bigger because I'm going for an even bigger position. So I'm excited for that. This position, you have your own section. You're not with a group of people. Or sometimes you share with one other person. It's not that deep. But like, it's not like as a pasista, or you're just like a member of one of the community alas where you're together with a whole group of people, 50 to 60 people. This one, you are like the star of this next section. So that's the position I'm going for next year. So this will be the position. All those beautiful girls with the big, beautiful outfits that you see, in Carnival, that spotlight, that's the position I'm going for next year. So I got to do a whole body transformation. That's why I don't got my drink. I only drink on Fridays. I got my little soda that I don't drink often, but since we hanging out, no drinks, just a soda. It's bad. It's just as bad.
Yeah, you need that
agua. I know, that's all.
Oh, you got water? All right, I got soda. It's a bad drink. It's a bad drink. I guess it replaces, the alcohol and everything. So
I feel you on that. I gave up alcohol for Lent, and there's some days I wanted to throw it in the towel. Yeah.
That's Fridays for me. Once a week, just to get to my body goal and where I want to be. It's going to be a great season. Like I told Adrian, the season starts actually October. But for me, because I am a little bit older, I'm not saying I'm old, but like I am kind of up there. There is no breaks for me. I need to get started once I get back to the U.S. I need to start training. I need to start getting better, getting stronger, strengthening resistance. Definitely taking a hiatus for just like probably a month. I'm gonna rest when I get back home, but once like May, June hits, I gotta start training. Start training.
Wow.
Good. So the good segue here, because you're gonna go back home. You're leaving end of this month, right?
I'm leaving April 4th.
April 4th, beginning of next month. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about you not because you've been there 8 months, 9 months?
It feel like it, right? But no, I only been here for 6 months.
6 months.
Oh,
okay.
6 months.
Dang. I feel like I've been gone forever, right? That's half of a year if you think about it.
And so you're on a tourist visa right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna go back, and then you're gonna come back maybe in October, November
possibly, yeah.
Of this year.
To see about this audition, yeah.
And so I know we spoke a few weeks ago because I know you were looking at a remote role. You wanted remote work.
I still do.
You still do? Okay. Because I know you were saying about you're going to take a break off and then you're going to go and practice. Well, you could practice and do remote work. I mean, that's the benefit
absolutely.
Of remote work. You could
because I still want to travel. I may not go back to Brazil for 6 months, or I may not go back on like a digital nomad visa, but I still want to travel and go to other countries and still work. You know what I'm saying? Because I do work remotely right now as we speak, but it ain't pulling in no money. Like I'm barely getting by on this. So I have to look for something else. I got to go back home, regroup, re-strategize, build a new skill, get new jobs, new career path, everything. and then I can begin to start traveling again to different countries, not necessarily Brazil. I need a break from Brazil for a little bit. I need to see some other countries and, you know, hang out with my family and stuff like that. But
Right.
yeah.
So another great segue into the digital nomad visa for Brazil. Do you feel comfortable talking about your experience? Because you
Yep.
applied for it, right? So so everybody can learn from your pitfalls and
Yep.
trials and tribulations. So
Yeah, because
expound on that.
it's not difficult, especially if you're in a major city. I'm pulling it up on here, all the stuff that I was told that I would need, which made me unqualified for it. And I don't care. People could judge me. That's watching. People could judge me.
Oh
Um,
man, be open and transparent. That's how people learn.
right, you know.
Yeah, and I don't think,
So
I'll be honest with you, I don't know if most of our audience even would know the difference, to be honest with you. Like this is new information from them, that new for most of the audience. There are gonna be some
okay.
experience. There are gonna be some people who are experienced, but you speaking to your experience is definitely gonna help somebody who is maybe not yet heard this stuff, right?
Right. Okay, well, you know what? That makes sense. Hold up. Let me see something. Here we
Right.
go. All right, I got all the information I need. So I signed up for the digital nomad visa back in September. I wasn't sure about all the requirements that I needed. So I was just pretty going in head on. Let me turn this light down on my tablet. It's shining bright in my face. And the general requirements that they told me was I would need a passport, a photo 2x2. So basically a passport photo, not some little tiny school photo. You would need the regular passport photo size, and that does matter because they will turn you away. You need evidence of income, and you need evidence of legal stay in the U.S. and an airline ticket. Now, we can get very specific on what why I was denied. So the proof of income was my difficult part. As you know, I'm not pulling in the coins like I used to. I used to pull in a lot of money with my education online school that I had, but enrollment dropped down significantly by 60%. So that did not equate up to what they were asking for. They said you need a minimum amount of 18,000 US dollars in your bank account, or you would need to prove that you have a monthly amount equal to or greater than 1,500 US dollars that you will be making each month from your job, specifically from a pay stub or at least one account. I'll go into details with what they said right here. They said it would need to be coming from one source. Yes, one source.
That's
specifically.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So you can't have like multiple Zells. Like if you're an influencer or not influencer, if you're a freelancer, you can't have multiple Zells coming in, etc. So one tip my friend gave me was, hey, don't you have a business account? I said, yeah. She said, have all your money, since you're not influencer, since you're a freelancer, have all of your money funneled into that one business account and write yourself a check every week. That will be the one source of income that you have coming in, or it'll be shown as one source of income, and that's for freelancers. So I didn't know that, and had I known that, I probably could have got the digital nomad visa. I wasn't up on game with that tip until she told me. So by that time it was too late. I was denied because it wasn't showing one source of income equating to $1,500 a month. It was showing multiple streams of income, which you cannot show. So you either have that one business that's sending you money, whether you're working for Google, whether you're working for Comcast, or whatever it is, that one source has to be coming into your account, and they will be taking a look at that, your bank statement, showing that you get that income and that amount of income every month. And you have to show the past 3 months. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did they tell you, like, is there a time period afterwards? Okay, like you got denied. Can you retry immediately after, or is there a waiting period?
Yep, that's what they told me right here. I asked them, I said, hey, good afternoon. Thank you for getting back to me with this information. Unfortunately, I'm a freelance online educator and emerging project manager that has 3 foreign United States sources funneled into my account weekly that equate to an estimate of 2,000 USD. So this won't work because they did want one source. And I said, may I cancel this application and try again next year? They said, yes, you may cancel and apply again next year. So that's what they told me.
So you only get one shot a year, basically.
No, I didn't ask. At least that's not what it sounded like. It sounded like you can cancel whenever and just try again when you get the chance. But it needs to be within that, like, the 3 months. So for example, the 3 months that I applied, the 3 months that I had that showed my income, obviously is not, that's denied. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I guess we would have to start over another 3 months. So it would have to be October, November, December showing on my bank statement, and not the 3 that I showed that got me denied.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting. See,
so you had to show 3 months.
Huh?
You had to show 3 months of income.
Yeah.
Consistent income. Okay.
From the same source.
From one source.
Yeah, and the amounts can't fluctuate if you think about it, because they're looking for a specific amount that matches what you submitted as your monthly income. So if you have any slight variation in your 3 months, you're gonna have to explain that. Like, I got a bonus or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It has to be coming from one source. It doesn't matter how many checks it is, as long as it's one source.
Right. So if it's always 1466, it always has to be 1466.
Yeah, if you do a 3 month average of 1466, it should be 1466. But like if you did like myself, I can be off a month off a contract and be back and get back to work the next month. My 1466 may go down to like 900 because I had a month off. So yeah.
I wonder if that's an issue, but I mean, that's what
the other option. The other option was to have that 18 grand in your account.
Yeah, that'd have been good too. I need to have that 18 grand in my account.
Right. And that's the digital nomad visa of Brazil.
Yes. Thank you.
And so what kind of, has it always been like that? There's another
brand new.
Okay.
This is brand new, and it's subject to change, to be honest. Although this is the information I told you within the past 6 months, it's subject to change. Honestly, I was thinking about it because I do consultations. Shout out to me. I do consultations for people who want to visit Brazil, so y'all can hit me up. I have a consultation coming up on Friday, and I go into even more details about this. I actually might, can I curse on here?
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I actually might reapply to the digital nomad visa for shits and giggles again, just to see what the update is. I'm so serious. Even though I told Asia I really don't have desire to go back, but I was thinking, because I do offer this client, like I offer this service, I was like, I might as well see, like, try something else and do it for shits and giggles to see what the update is, or what, you know, like, and if I get it, I get it. Shout outs to me, but like, you know, just to see what the updates is, because I feel like it could change. Just like, you know, how we were talking about the tourist visa, look how that's back. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Brazil is constantly changing. Things can constantly change. Visas change. Like, sooner or later, they're going to have some new visa. Like, oh, wow, I didn't know you can have this visa. Yeah, now you can have this visa. And it's like, well, how do you apply? Because for the longest, nobody knew how in the world the digital nomad visa worked. Nobody knew.
Right, it's very fresh.
Yeah, it was trial and error. I was the trial, and I was the error. So, you know, like, that's what happened.
Yeah, I love your honesty.
That is
I gotta be honest, you know? Like, I don't want people failing. I mean, you might fail. I fail.
Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm learning too. It's funny because I just started looking into the Colombia visa and a lot of those things. You didn't have to have health insurance. Is that a requirement? No, for Brazil.
I think I didn't see that.
Yeah, you didn't read it off. That's why I was going to table that question.
It said,
because most of them want you to have some type of health
I
insurance.
think in the
not all, but some.
I think choose your service, fill out the information. When I applied, it didn't ask.
And you did that, you applied in September last year?
Yeah, but it might be asking now. But it didn't ask. At least that's not what I remember when I did my my application. So you do the application twice. That's another thing. But if anybody wants help with that, I can help you. You do the application twice. It's very much a headache.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. If I could give it 3 thumbs down, I would.
Okay, let me see here. Right here, this is actually this is not the best website. This is a Euro website. I think this one here, Citizens Remote. All right, let me share this here.
I've looked up. I don't see anything for healthcare proof.
No, I don't remember them asking.
It's not. There's nothing. I'm looking. I don't see anything that's even mentioning.
Because there's SUS here. There's SUS, so there's universal health care here. So I'm not saying they would want you to rely on the universal health care, but like there is universal health care. And on top of that, health care is affordable here. At least in my opinion.
I'm saying you do have to have travel insurance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that.
You have to have travel insurance. So that covers the healthcare piece, the healthcare question.
Right, that's what I was seeing.
Yeah.
So so when you come back, I mean, that's a while from now. That's like 5 months, 5-6 months. You're gonna possibly think of going which route? The digital nomad. You're gonna find a great remote role in New York, and you're gonna be like, cause see, you love Brazil. You be capping a little bit, man, on the Brazil. You be like, I'm tired of Brazil and this all the red tape and all that stuff.
I know.
This time around, honestly, it
she'd be right back
Rio
in Brazil.
specifically. No, Salvador too. Brazil in general kicked my ass this year. I've been bouncing from house to house. I don't like that. I feel like at 32, that's not cute. I feel like, when you're 23, that's like something cool. You couch surf and shit. Mm-hmm. But at 32, I feel like it's not a flex. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm not saying that I don't like this area, but it's not ideal. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But like, I wouldn't. Oh, I'm not talking about Salvador. I'm talking about the area I'm in Salvador.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. No.
I can understand where you at.
I would highly not recommend it.
No, hold up. Let's back up though, because I don't want to set the wrong perception of Salvador is beautiful.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's really nice. It's beach. It's a port city. If you're into melanated Afro-Brazilian people, that is the Mecca in Salvador per capita. There are blacks in Rio as well, but they're not in more of the non-touristy place. They're in the more non-touristy.
Right.
So you may not go unless you go with Regine and do one of her wonderful tours in Rio, which we will table that for the end to show her her experiences, her Airbnb experiences. And so Salvador is a place that I highly recommend any person go, especially any person of color to go, and just stay in Pelourinho, Ondina, what's the near the beach or whatever. Beautiful, beautiful place.
He'll mail you, stay in those places. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about where I'm at.
And you made me want to show something that I sent to you, and I wanted to replay this here. It's our guy Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Phil knows me. I was on a show, and then I did not know that he knew Regine. And by the time I was going to be on his show, Regine had mentioned, "You gonna be on Phil's show?" And I'm like, "How do we know Phil?" Like we all know each other over here. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so let me play this right here, and then we'll get Regine to expound on this here.
It's a growing thing. So I like being in the furnace. I think, if you travel abroad, a lot of times you have people that have their YouTube channels and they're showing the beaches and this, and it seems so wonderful. And traveling is, but living is a different beast. So it's good that you understand that, hey, that first 6 months to a year, you're going to be like, what am I doing? Why did I leave the US? Where everything works. If I call somebody, they come, et cetera, et cetera. But you get the hang of it, or you don't, and you leave. And I think that's fair too. I think that's totally fair. Maybe it's not for you, get out. So everybody can have a different experience when they travel, especially in a country as big as Brazil. Brazil, I always say Brazil, think of the US. US is west to east, just flip it. North to south. It's more or less the same size. It's that big of a country. And just like the US.
All right. That's kind of a little bit what Regine was talking about.
Yeah.
He said he get it. If you want to bounce, hey man, we understand.
Yeah, no. And a lot of people, I know a lot of expats that have left. It just wasn't working out for them. It's a beautiful country, great things going on, but it's a little bit difficult sometimes if you don't know anybody. So I feel like
you know the language, so it's not really a language thing for you because Regine.
No, and I think also
Portuguese, man.
I think also Brazil is not like the U.S. in a sense. So I'm gonna speak about immigrant culture. Brazil has a lot of immigrants, but there's also not like a lot of support for immigrants in Brazil. Whereas in the U.S., there's a lot of support for immigrants. Now, immigrants in the U.S. may say that there's no support for them. They have to struggle and like work hard. But like, I think you would work 10 times harder in Brazil if you're an immigrant. There's not a lot of support for like a lot of immigrants here in Brazil, in my opinion. There are opportunities more so than in their home country, because I know African people that come here and, have opportunities and stuff like that. But like, it's not a lot of support, in my opinion. And with that being said, sometimes it can be really, 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 really hard. You know what I'm saying? For immigrants or foreigners, etc., to really like live here sometimes. At least for me, I know some people, you know what I'm saying? But like, the housing situation here is really ass. If you are speaking of, being a digital nomad and stuff like that, an expat, these guys outside my door are so loud, and they do this on purpose. My friend complains about it. They just ratchet. Like, why are you in front of my door so loud like that? They do this all the time. Sorry, off topic. But I think, like, have some decency. But other than that, like, I feel like when it comes to like being a digital nomad and stuff like that, the housing is really just whack. Like, it's so much bureaucracy to get like an apartment. Like, I'm not gonna say no names. Asian, we spoke about this, but like, people be lying. They're like, "Oh, I signed a lease." No, you didn't.
Really?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Like,
so
I know money talks, bullshit walks, But no amount of money is gonna save you from you getting thrown out on your ass. Like that literally can happen to you. That can be your reality. You know what I'm saying?
We're getting
If
ripped
you
off.
don't pay the amount that the next person might pay, you're an immigrant, you're a foreigner, you ain't signed no real papers, you don't have no identity, you don't have an R&E, you can be on the street just like anybody else. Like,
Wow.
the bureaucracy here is really ass. And that's why I say most of the people, foreigners and stuff like that, they live in the favela. Because in the favela, you can't get thrown on your ass like that. You can't get thrown on your ass in the favela like that. There's rules in the favela. The apartments and condominiums and stuff like that, it's trash.
So how about if I go buy Airbnb? You wouldn't do long-term Airbnb. That's probably expensive, more
It's the
expensive.
same thing, yeah. No, Airbnb, if I do it through Airbnb, because that is a contract, and Airbnb will come for you. It is expensive, but it's more doable than you doing something offline.
Okay. Yeah, the offline.
Everybody I know,
heard.
even people that got money, even people that I know that got money, they talk about this. They're like, it's annoying because these landlords, they shiesty, they want money. They want
And they
more
know
money.
they can get it. They know they can get it.
They know they can get it because you don't got no identity here. You're literally a foreigner.
Yeah, I've heard that in multiple countries you can get bamboozled.
You can.
You know, yeah.
And I've heard it with people that got money. I'm talking about people that had bank. They be balling.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, I don't think, I mean, the most you can do, like, for example, when I was going to get this condominium in Rio, and they wanted me to pay 24 grand. 24.
That was
20,
in US?
No, reais.
Oh, hey, ice. Okay.
That's still a lot.
That's.
I was like, I'm not. 24 reais. But I would have got those papers and I would have been safe. But 24 grand, that's a lot. And I didn't have that at the time. That was the only option. But knowing my Portuguese, I can do stuff like that. People that barely can get by hollering at a girl is not talking with no landlord to pay 24K with a union and banks. They're not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They're
that's
doing something under the
4,500.
table. And that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's dangerous as well too.
Wow.
Yes, I can see you.
And so why the lie? Why the lie?
Why lie?
Yeah, because I see a lot of influencers, and you know I'm on the same app you on as far as watching, and I see your comment right before I make mine on a lot of travel influencer stuff and scenarios, and they all, like you said, I signed a lease. This is my new place here.
They ain't signed no lease.
So why lie though? Because it gives, especially for brown and black people, you're given a false sense of reality when the reality is if it's harder for an immigrant, how much harder is it going to be for you, a black immigrant? You know what I mean? Like, let's be real with each other. You know, we can for the global travel community, we can tell them whatever, right? But when it comes to us, why get on there and lie? Why?
Because it's shock value. You saw I was honest and I said I ain't get no apartment. Look at my views. I didn't get no views. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
But if I lie and tell you I signed a 12-month lease, knowing damn well I ain't got no no RNE or RG.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I could do that. I didn't know he could do that. He did that. She did that. I could do that too. It's shock value.
But
and
this
look at
is
the
why
views that they get. Their views are 30K.
But as a viewer, I would be more conscious that that's why I like your content, because it's authentic. It looks like something that is attainable. And the most important thing is you showing us how hard it is sometimes to live your dream. Like you have these ups and downs. You have these moments when you're dancing in carnival with your outfit on and you haven't done it in 2 years. This is what you dreamed of. But then you have another moment when you don't even have water. I saw that on your social media, that you didn't even have water for like a month. They don't tell you that though. They going out here.
They don't. They be out here lying.
Sweet as gold, Tootsie Roll dreams, and it's not like that.
They be out here lying. They be out here lying. The whole city of Salvador. They be out here lying. You still found joy.
You still found happiness. It's just it wasn't every day. It wasn't always a vacation. You actually
it sure wasn't. Just last week Monday, I was supposed to make this a video as well, but just last week Monday, we was on the ground because of a shootout.
Dang.
Like these are like real things that happen out here, but people just be lying and like making stuff up. But also I live in a favela, so there's that. But like, you know, things do happen. Just like I'm sure you see the same videos I do. People be like, oh yeah, it's easy breezy, but then they get robbed. Their drone gets stolen, they get drugged.
Those are my favorite. I'm sorry. I don't want no ill will to come to nobody. But some of my favorite travel videos are all the stuff that go wrong, and it really be somebody who ain't like really a nice person sometimes.
They just be out here lying. Meanwhile, they struggling. They got robbed, and they not telling
toxic
you
content,
that these things happen, huh?
I see you loving that toxic content.
Yeah, that's definitely toxic content.
That's what people like.
You know what? But you know what too though, a lot of these influencers, they have to put on because of the viewers and the followers, you know, and because I get it as a content creator, you know, they always think like the crime is over, like is it safe in Colombia or is it safe in Brazil? Man, you sometimes have to play the other role to show like, man, I'm enjoying myself. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm stunting, you know, just those naysayers in the States that will, you know, push that agenda so much. Like, well, why are you going over there? They barefoot and broke over there, and this is a third world country, and you know.
See, that's what you get. You shouldn't have went over there. Then all those people.
Yeah. Like with the Mexico thing, with the girls going to Mexico. I mean,
now nobody wants to go to Mexico because they don't want to get kidnapped. Like what? You can get kidnapped on the block right now. Like
you can get kidnapped in Miami, Florida.
Yes. So,
like United States is the biggest human traffickers in the world. You think you safe here from being snatched?
Exactly.
I saw a post just this week. Somebody did something in Mexico, like a Mexico reel or whatever. And everybody in the comments, oh, this wrong time and bad time. You got time to take this down and stuff. I'm like, good Lord.
No.
Y'all just wrote all of Mexico, even y'all favorite Cancun. Y'all ain't going to Cancun no more. You know, everybody thought Cancun. Cancun's a whole other country.
Tulum empty right now. You can't even go on TikTok or Instagram right now and hashtag Tulum and see recent videos because there ain't a whole lot of people. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna be a lot like it used to. You know, everybody. This is spring break. Tulum we would have 100 videos of Tulum right now.
You sure would.
They got none. No,
but everybody's down. Everybody's down here for spring break, so that's interesting.
Oh, it's a lot of people in Brazil.
For spring break.
Nice. Interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was shooting out in Miami. I think 3 people done got shot this weekend.
Man.
Last weekend in Miami. But you know, this country ain't dangerous now.
So when you go back, I know he mentioned when you go back that you're going to get the digital nomad visa. Is that the one you decided to get, or the tourist visa?
I'm gonna look into it to see what it's about. So anybody who wants to know like what's the update, I got a 6-month update. But I probably won't apply until I see about that remote job.
Yeah.
And just to see if I qualify. And to see if anything changed, because I'm sure something's gonna change. Something's gonna change.
So you would be more swaying towards the new tourist visa.
Yeah, I still have time.
But you applied in 2017. You said, right?
Exactly, and I got 10 years.
Okay, so you still can use that same one.
I sure can.
Yeah.
Now, what's the rules on that tourist visa? Like, how often can you stay, and how many times a year?
So that's the one I've been living on. Okay. The tourist visa is the one that I've been traveling on for the past 4 years. With that visa, you basically apply. It's the same stuff as the digital nomad visa, except you don't need to proof of income. You just need a flight. You need, I think, a letter recommendation from somebody you know in Brazil or something like that, or a hospice or something like that. Your Airbnb provider, I think, can give you that. If you're staying at an Airbnb or a hotel or something like that, and if you just get a friend, somebody could write it for you. You know what I'm saying? I think you also, since I did it so long ago, I'm like, I think you still need that 2x2 photo, the passport photo. Yeah. You need that. And I think you need a couple of other things, but I'm not too sure. But it is very easy to get. You get it the same day. So
but you went to the consulate though, right?
I did. So if you go to the consulate, you get it the same exact day. Now, from what I'm hearing from my sources, is that you can do visa upon arrival. I don't know how true that is. I'm gonna look more into that once I get off this live. But you can apparently visa upon arrival will be an option, because that was not an option back in 2017. I know that West Africa is on that, because I did that for the Ivory Coast. I think Ghana, you can do the same thing. Nigeria, I don't think so, because I applied for a Nigerian visa and I had to send in my passport.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what they currently have now. Where if the last time I went in November, it was visa on arrival. Like that's a somewhat of a visa on arrival when you get there.
Where?
In Brazil.
Oh, so yeah, then that's good, because they didn't have that back in 2017.
Right. So you had to apply for a visa.
Yeah,
and
go
so
straight
now
in.
we have
Old
to go
school
back.
style.
Yeah. So now we have to go back to that process of applying, which you just stated what was the requirements you needed to have.
Yeah, that's a few of the requirements. The other ones are pretty easy to obtain. I only remember the ones that I'm saying because those were like kind of hard. You also have to get your you have to get a U.S. postal money order. You also have to do some notarization. And I think that's about it. That's what I remember. The things I remember is the ones that were like kind of hard to do. So the whole like notary and money order and all that stuff, the letter of recommendation or whatever the case is, those are like kind of difficult, but everything else should be very easy to obtain. Another thing, everything's going to be online now. It's not like how I did. I had to do a whole paper form. Because even with the digital nomad visa, I believe that the tourist visa is the same thing. You have to apply online. Do it twice. You apply with immigration, and then you go to the, what is it called? Brazil.gov website. It's 2 different sites. I'm going to tell you right now.
When you apply for the digital nomad?
Yeah, it's 2 different sites.
Okay.
The e-consular.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 different sites.
That e-consular is probably going to be the same portal for the tourist visa in October.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So you do those things. You do that. That's what you do.
Interesting. So so do you still have to stay with that 90 days? They grant you 90 days?
Yeah, so you stay within the 90 days. And if you need to stay longer, you have to go to the Polícia Federal. If you're in Rio, you're going to go to Santos Dumont. Now they're doing everything online. So I have like a whole form that you fill out and everything and use the code and stuff like that. and you just
For
go
the
in and
extension.
ask for an extension. Yeah.
Okay.
And you stay for another 90 days, which is a total of 180 days. Now, it's not guaranteed that you will get your extension, so don't sit here and think, oh, I'm gonna just go and get my extension. Like, no, it's not guaranteed. Okay, you could definitely be denied for multiple reasons. One, you ain't got the funds. Two, you don't have your airline ticket going out somewhere, and a couple of other things.
You know, that's funny though with the airline ticket. Like, how you just gonna just book it one way and have it for a certain day and just, I mean, that's such an inconvenience because, like, let's say if you did that with the 90 days and you want an extension, like, so you would have to pay rescheduling fees and all that stuff. To, like, I don't know. That's interesting.
Now, there's a trick to it.
Oh, you're talking about the fake joint or the
Nah, it's not fake. It's real.
or the cancel one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you only have 24 hours to cancel it though.
That's why you book your flight the day before.
Oh, okay. But do they verify it? That's even if they verify it.
If you do it online, they verify it.
No, but it's an upload. It's an upload, right?
No, you bring all the, it has to be printed out. And the federal, the extension, all that got to be printed out. It's not online.
Okay.
That extension stuff, no. You don't have to do anything online. You bring all that paperwork in.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, are they really verifying that that flight is legit?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just handed in the paperwork, and I waited for 5,000 hours to see if I was approved or not. I don't know what they're doing in that back office. I'm gonna be honest. They could throw my thing in the pile. I don't know, and then come out and say, "Oh yeah, you approved." I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know what they're doing. I just know I waited a very long time.
Within the same day, and you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there in the morning, got out like 4.
Dang, for real?
Yeah, I've heard them lines.
So you went to the DMV of Brazil to get your because you know that's how the DMV be, boy.
It literally, I'm gonna be honest, it literally felt like the DMV or like food stamps. Because like it was just like
Or the unemployment office. I don't know.
Yeah, the unemployment. That's what it felt like.
Back in the day, you used to have to go to the unemployment office, youngins. You couldn't apply online and get your money to direct deposit. No,
Yeah.
you had to go stand in line with all the other unemployed people to
I
file
remember-
for unemployment.
I remember when I applied for food stamps back when I was like 23. Oh my goodness, I was in there all day. I was like, why are we here for so long? What's going on? Like, and then they said, we can't see you today. I said, no, somebody will see me. I said,
I'm surprised you old enough to young enough to remember that, but old enough to experience it, because these kids have no idea what it used to be like back in the day.
Yeah. I think because I'm a millennial, I'm on the younger spectrum of the millennial. Yeah. I'm a zillennial. So we get like the last bits of the ancient ways of the U.S., the backwardsness.
So you back in time in Brazil, y'all ain't no filling out no form, and I'm just gonna hit renew and it's gonna extend my You got to go down there and look presentable. Can't go down there. They want you asking to stay in their country for another 190 days. So you can't go down there looking a mess. Like get yourself together.
Show up.
Nice, be nice, smile.
And I'm serious. That's why y'all asking, do they like do background check? I'm like, this is like social services. I have no idea what they're doing. They take their paperwork and they go back there and come back in 6 hours. So I have no idea what in the world they are doing. I'm so serious. But
I heard you're actually lucky to get something, because I heard you could wait that long a period of time and still go home empty-handed. Like they tell you to come back the next day.
That's your CPF too. To be honest with you, a lot of bureaucratic stuff. Let me tell you something. Bureaucratic stuff, medical stuff, bank stuff. That's an all-day thing. That's not, I got something to do real quick this morning. I'm gonna go to the bank real quick.
Oh, for real?
What happened?
Bring snacks. bring snacks. Bring some juices.
Mm.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I go in with flip flops and comfortable shoes because I just know I'm gonna be sitting all day.
Yes. So it's a time. It's a time. And speaking of a time, I remember the time I met you in the North Zone.
Yes, you did. And we were stomping out roaches. I remember that.
What does stomping out roaches mean?
It was authentic. We was literally stomping out roaches. It was very it's like in color, not Color Purple, but Coming to America. Like, take me to somewhere common.
Oh,
and I told her to take me to somewhere common, and she took me somewhere real common.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a part of my tour.
So yeah, we were underneath the bridge.
Brazilian what's that called? A juke joint. She took you to a Brazilian juke joint.
No, we was outside. We was outside under the stars in the bridge. Nice little place.
We really was outside.
Look who I'm here with, everybody.
Just playing the audio.
Travelmatic, y'all. So y'all, I ran into a fellow YouTuber, Travelmatic. Him and I and his co-host went live back in April or March, I believe it was. And it was such a pleasure to see him here in Brazil. He enjoyed the samba schools. I didn't get to go to the samba school with him, but it was such an amazing time seeing him. And I hope that he comes back to Rio. And maybe I'll see him in Salvador as well. Y'all go follow him on his page. Yeah, it was so good to see him.
We had the building, Atlanta, New York, South Carolina.
Yeah, relatives, probably.
Yeah.
I was tired.
Yeah.
Y'all,
I was
it's
actually
real.
sick.
Can't believe I met with you. Oh my goodness. So we out. This is it. This is what we ate. We just had fries and a burger and beers in Madureira. Via Dutu. We've been here so many times. So yeah. Good night.
I was sick from being out in the rain 2 nights at Afro Punk Bahia, fooling around with what's her name? Gosh, I forgot the my friend name from Salvador. It's gonna come to me. But yeah, I was out in the Rebecca. Out there in Rebecca.
Yeah.
Because I was in Salvador before I came to Rio. So that was like a Monday. I met with you, I believe. I think that was
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah. And I think I flew in there Monday from Salvador to Rio. And I was telling her that because when I reached out to you, I said, man, I was at a samba practice last night. She was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, I was up in the North Zone, and this girl I follow, she's a samba dancer. She's like, well, there's one tonight. And I was like, there's another one? I was like, where at? She was like, if you're not scared to come up to, I said, nah, I already been up there. I was cool last night. And so I just, took some, because my throat, I was real raspy, like in my throat. I had like a headache and I was coming down with something. And so I pushed through it and went up there, and I went to the samba practice, and you had like a training or something you was doing online.
Yeah,
and,
I had a class that I did online.
And so she came right when it was ending, and we met like around the corner, and she was like, let's go to this place and grab some food. And she was speaking this Portuguese, man. I was just like, oh, like
so
I was ordering the food for me.
So bad.
She was ordering the food for me. That is a tough language, man, to grasp. It's very different. But she's bridging the gap, man. She's living
her dreams
in the trenches. In the trenches. That's what I love about her too. She be in the trench. She don't be like sitting up in a 5-star resort with pina colada with the umbrella on it. Like
I sure don't.
She in there washing her clothes by hand in the trenches and
no,
with
man,
no water.
you should see the TikTok she did. This is day 15 and not having no water. And this is what I mean, just like telling you how her day go and what she do. I mean, it's really authentic, it's down to earth, it's relatable. She is hilarious. I don't know how you be getting them Brazilians to say stuff they ain't got no business saying.
Ooh, I need to do one. I need to do a new one. I stopped because Carnival has been kicking my ass. And then I had this ceremony that I had to do, and I need to get them to record and say a couple of words. I just need to see them.
Yeah, but we get all that, but we also get your journey as you bloomed, which I think was bloomed during this Carnival season, because I wasn't like, I don't, we follow you on social media. We know that these things are coming up. It's not until you get scrolling through the app and then you see your video come up, and then this is what we saw. And I was just so proud of you because I knew how you were so passionate about what you wanted to do with your life, and why you moved there and why you was on the grind. And to see that video was just, I was so excited for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be even bigger next year. Even bigger.
We like your groupies over here in the States.
Thank you, y'all, so much.
I see something, I'm gonna send it out. Hey, look at Reggie. She got my doing. She go.
I'm like, you see her costume? Like, that's what I'm talking about. I was just like blowing it up.
I know. Yeah, but they did.
Very proud of you. We're gonna play a little bit here. Take it back.
Thank y'all so much.
Take it back. All right. All right. Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
You look marvelous. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Amazing. Incredible.
Yes. Let me see. I got another one here too.
Oh yeah, you gotta show the red. The red was red hot.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Is it this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's you right there, right?
Yep, that's me with the big hair.
Tell us about the costume, your attire.
So this was inspired by like Arabic, like belly dancing. The theme was desert, like the Northeast meets like Arabic or like Arabian Nights. So that's why we had like the hair up and the big hair and the thing around the head, and flary like bottom piece to make it look like a belly dancing type of thing. So that was our theme this year.
I know I asked you this on social media, but I'm gonna ask you for all the ladies, because that looks like a lot of walking and a lot of dancing and a lot of stepping. How do you find comfortable shoes to do that in?
You know what's crazy? I made a video and it deleted your comment. I literally have it in my drafts. I'm gonna post it tonight and I'm gonna tag you because I was like, why did it delete your comment? But I don't. That's the answer. There is, yeah, you don't. Your feet are fucked. They're done.
Look at her feet. Look at her shoes in this clip. I don't even.
And she has the worst shoes. My friend, she has the worst shoes in me. Those shoes are worse. They're horrible. Like, not horrible in a sense of like the structure. I'm not trying to throw shade at the person that made it, but like they hurt. They do hurt. There are no comfortable shoes. And I know some girls will say, oh yeah, it's comfortable. They lying. It hurt. Your feet hurt. You just used to the pain. That's what you're used to. I'm used to the pain. So pain
your feet do not look like they hurt in them gold boots.
Oh, they hurt when you take them off. You get used to the pain. It's a pain that you become accustomed to. It's like, I hate to bring this up, but like, it's like when you get spankings, after a while you was getting whooped, and your parent hit you again, it don't hurt no more, and you laughing. It's like, I mean, like it hurt, but like it's like, oh, alright, like, you know, that's how them shoes feel. Or like a needle. The first time you get a shot at the hospital, it hurts as a child. As you get older, it's like, oh, okay, you know. For some people, it still is very traumatic. But for me, it's like, oh, I got a shot. It hurts, but like, it's not like, oh my goodness, I'm dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get used to the pain. You really do. You get calluses, you get cuts on your feet, your nerves go numb. Seriously. A lot of people complain about that with their feet. Like bruises, cuts all at the bottom, cuts all over the toes. It's like putting on point shoes. It's a pain that you grow accustomed to feeling.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna steal this outfit, the gold shimmery top with the cut up denim shorts and some gold heels. I'm telling you right now that you're gonna see that outfit on me very soon.
Yo, wear it. I want to see.
I'm going on a cruise in May, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be an outfit of mine. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You put the boots on too?
Huh?
You gonna put the heels on too like that?
I'm gonna get some open toe heels, yes, but mine'll be lower. Trust me. Yes, I don't have it. I ain't got it like that no more. Not on them slippery cruise ship floors. But no, yeah, that's gonna be cute to dance in.
Oh, but it hurts. It does. It's a pain you grow into.
Oh, you know.
I remember I couldn't point my toe. I couldn't point my feet. Excuse me. I think it was 2019. I couldn't point my feet. That's how messed up my foot was. It was swollen. Wow. If you say, Reggie, point your big toe.
And you know, it was another thing that I wanted to point out, which I mentioned earlier, was the Airbnb experiences. She is hustling. And tell the people about your tourism business you created on the fly with Airbnb.
So it was a really big deal. I had one out here in Bahia, but this week it's getting shut down. It was kind of slow, but the one in Rio was really, really big, especially the samba one. The samba rehearsals, I noticed a lot of Black people, that's my target audience, a lot of Black people visiting really loved the samba school. And I think because they felt the way you felt, Adrian, was that it reminded them, especially those that's from the South, it reminded them of like bands. So like a lot of Black American people that visit really love the samba school so much. That was my target audience. The samba one was really big, super big deal. And then I had one that just showed like urban dance culture in the North Zone. A lot of people like that one as well.
So you did them separately? You did it like a samba?
I had two different ones. Yep. I had one specifically for the samba and one specifically for like urban dance culture in Rio.
You know, and I tell a lot of people, especially people who, I tell the native people of that country, like in Colombia or Brazil, my guy, this background, ironically, that I have right here.
I love
Hosina, which is a favela. And I took this picture in a favela tour. The guy who did that tour for me, Obi-Wan, his name of his tourism business is called Favela Brothers. He is a Brazilian guy, brown skin guy. He looked like he would be American. Him and his brother created that about 5, 6, 7 years ago. His brother moved off to Australia, got married to an Australian girl, moved on to Australia, and he had it by himself. But he could speak English, and he was telling like other people in his favela, like, "Hey, you could do the same thing." Which there are a lot of people who do favela tours, but for it to be a Black brother, he got a lot of business from other brothers.
Yeah.
That gravitated to him because he was Black. He speak English. He know how to do the tours in his own favela. And so, and if you want to see that video, it is on my channel. Actually, went into his home, met his mother. He actually had where he was renting out a room if you wanted to stay in the favelas, which I wanted to do that as well. But
so my question is, how did you decide how you were going to curate your tours? Like, he did all that work to make sure, because he lives there in the favelas, so he was able to curate his tours according to his own life experiences. You being an expat, how did you decide what you were going to do as your experiences?
Well, how did I curate mine was basically what I would want to see. I always do things based on, if I was a tourist visiting, what would I want to see? You know what I'm saying? If I was visiting, I would want to see the Samba drum. A lot of people cannot go to the Samba drum. I would want to see the street rehearsals. A lot of people cannot do that. Adrian, you one of the few people that do not speak Portuguese that went by yourself. And that is a thumbs up, because a lot of people told me, they said, had I had not seen your Airbnb, I would have never went to any of this, or would have never known about any of this. So thumbs up for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's not you, everybody can't do that. So I would want to see something like that. Or I would want to see, like, what do Black Brazilian people do in Rio? What do they do for fun? They go to samba schools. They go to Bali Charmi. They go to many different things in Madureira. Madureira is like the Harlem of Rio. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where all Black events happen at. Imperial Serrano, Portela, and other, like, things to do in Madureira. That is the Harlem. Imperial Serrano, Portela is like the Apollo. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where everybody goes. And I wanted to show that. So that's how I curated it. I wanted to show people where I live. I live in Madureira, and I want to show them the culture and things that matter there. And I want to share also the samba school experience, because not a lot of people have access to it. Everybody cannot do that. I know it sounds crazy, but, like, a lot of people actually cannot do that. Like, they cannot go to Imperial Serrano, walk into Parque de Madureira by themselves and go watch Imperial Serrano. Like, they just can't.
Right.
And I offer that service to them.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Well, we do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been always a pleasure to have you on. You give us a lot of value and information in this live stream here. So if you're looking to get in contact with Regine, that is her tag on her panel right here. Regine Bridges the Gap on her picture right here. That's all Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everything. So yes, and also Airbnb, right? Is it Regine Bridges the Gap on Airbnb?
No.
Okay.
It's
but you said you're going to
Regine
stop that now, because you're going back.
Yes, it's on pause. Although I might be doing something in New York, so if you want to hang out in New York, which I think a lot of people will.
Yes,
we're gonna see what the U.S. is bringing to the table.
Anywhere I go in this world, they know one city in the United States, and that's New York.
New York, yeah.
Anywhere I go, I know New York. I know New York. Like, that's all.
So if you want to, hang out in Brooklyn, I'm offering it. I did it last year for a friend, and she loved it. And she's like, "Why the hell did you not offer this as an actual service?" I said, "Because it's fun." I said, "I ain't think much of it." I said, "I know where to go. Like if any of you came to New York City, I know where to take you, where to go. That's fun, affordable, and you get a bang for your buck because in New York City,
you need to be doing it." I'm telling you now. I went to Cuba by myself, solo female, and I joined a evening. It was a nighttime Airbnb experience where she took you to all levels of live music, drinking, dancing. That's what she did. And it kind of elevated, like she's curated to, so like we start off at like a lounge like places and some live music, some like drumming and stuff like that. And then it kind of elevated to each type of place you can experience while you're in Havana. And the last place was like the it place that everybody in Havana was at. And it was my favorite Airbnb experience I've ever had, And that was like my first night in Cuba, and it was by a woman. So as a female, as a woman, it made me that more comfortable that it was a woman taking me on this tour. And we didn't wind up having any men with us. It was all girls, and we had so much fun. One of the best experiences I've ever had. So if you have that in your wheelhouse where you're able to offer those kind of curated experiences, absolutely, that could be your ticket to what you're trying to achieve. You know what I mean? That could be your ticket. Because I see somebody saying she has so much information about Brazil. I'm gonna fly her out and curate our experience for us.
Let's hope that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're gonna put that out in the atmosphere. We're gonna put
it
that
out there. Put it out there. Oh my goodness.
My only caveat is if you get that, make sure you put my asterisk next to that so I can be I can come in the economy and kind of pigtail be the tour guide's assistant.
Seriously, I love honestly curating people's trips and stuff like that, which is why I have the service. And I try to pitch it as much as possible because y'all, I get hit up a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. I get hit up all the time, and I know some people are probably annoyed I don't respond. But like, imagine you get like 10 of those same questions a day. It's very.
It's time.
It's time. Yeah. I can't answer them all, and on top of that, your girl ain't pulling in money like she used to. So go ahead.
Get that consultation fee.
That's gonna change. That's
Get
gonna
that
change.
consultation fee.
Yeah.
Regine does great consultations for Brazil, so definitely hit her up and book an hour.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We again we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We're so proud.
Yes. So man, I wish I was in Salvador right now, but soon I'll be back. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you, Tiffany, everyone, and good night. See you on the next one.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.